Family, good night, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Frenzy podcast. As always, I'm your host, Devon, and we're here tonight to discuss some football, your favorite topic, and we're here to look at some EPL action that took place over the weekend. And I'll be joined shortly by Kems and hopefully Shakes and some other guys. Um, Kems, what going, man?
There, my general, yeah, going.
Oh, a rough weekend, but
Bro.
just one of those things. But how the weekend go for you? Because I know that you're a betting man, so collecting chumps over the weekend.
Yeah, in EPL wise, not well, football wise, win some money football wise, NFL wise, not so much basketball wise, not so much, but definitely for football for sure.
I understand that's a good thing, Even when a team a lose, say at least they can collect a chump. So
Yes, sir.
wasn't bad overall. But this weekend was a weekend filled with goal in the EPL. 40 goals overall in the EPL. And I mean, boy, what better way to start it off than that 7 piece that Chelsea gave to Norwich early in the morning. Um, when I look at these two teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea, as they say, they're challenging for the title. So when you look at them, it's a team that is well drilled and they have been playing good. So they have been missing a lot of players, but that didn't impact them any at all because I mean Lukaku wasn't there, Timo Werner wasn't there, but this was a show for Mason Mount, and Mason Mount did perform well, scored his first hat-trick for the club itself, and boy, they just look superb. And before I move on, one other thing. All 7 goals in this game were scored by English players. Even the own goal was scored by an English player. So,
It's coming
that,
home.
what do you have to say?
It's coming home. It's about which one? About the English players or about the game itself?
Both.
About the English players, I guess it's not much to write home about for me. I guess it's just one of them coincidental situations. About the game itself, I really, if anybody tell you that they predicted seven, they would be a lying. They would be a liar. But I think a lot of persons, I don't remember if it was Management or some persons were coming and they were saying, oh, this game is going to be so tight. I think somebody also predicted a draw, something like that. I don't remember. Some crazy person predicted a draw. And I said that it doesn't matter who Chelsea put out there because they say, Lukaku missing Timo. I'll be like, it doesn't matter who Chelsea put out there. Chelsea is a class team, and, Chelsea will win easily and, so said, so done.
All right, Shakes, welcome to the show, boss.
Yeah, man, good night.
All right, that Chelsea performance, do you think that Chelsea has it within them to win the EPL? Well, you said it that they will win the EPL. Did that match
Yeah, they
pace
were my pick.
made a statement?
I was saying that they were my pick at the start of the season when we had done the run through. I don't really think that we did as quality to when some other transfers came over, but
Mm-hmm.
I still had Chelsea. I still had Chelsea to win. Um, but that game, I actually watched that game, and listen, if you want to talk about a training match, that was a training match between Norwich and Chelsea. Listen, when you talk about the number one team, as in the first place team versus the team that is 20th in the Premier League, and the team that really and truly does not deserve to be in the Premier League, because guess what? They just don't have the quality, right? And that is evident. That is evident. So um, just watching that game, listen, those Chelsea players, they were just having fun on the pitch. No joke. They were literally having fun on the pitch. And I believe that when you get these type of games, that's when you're supposed to enjoy yourself. Because guess what? The opposition can hurt you, but they can't really hurt you, right? Because the best of them is probably to score one goal. The best of you is to score five or more on a poor team like that. Even the commentators, they were saying that, listen, Norwich, they just have not spent the money. They don't have the quality players. Um, the commentator literally said that this is what you get from the Champions League winners versus the championship team. That those were his words.
Okay, so as I said before, all 7 goals were scored by English players, and producer probably smiling because producer is a big English fan. But
With Mason Mount, eh?
but here Sheldon Campbell saying that please tell these people stop calling Mount average. Kims, what do you think about him?
Mason Mount. Why? I mean, if he's not average, then what would be? He's not great. He's not great. You know, he's not in that great category with those players. I mean, he's a decent footballer. I just don't think he's consistent, or playing consistently at that level. I don't want to see a hat trick against a Norwich. Show me a hat trick against a Liverpool. Show me a hat trick against a Man City. Probably show me a hat trick against a Belgium for the English team. Show me those kind of performances, and then we can have the conversation. And these are the reasons why a lot of persons beat on Mason. Okay, you see, him score a hat trick now. You hear what this man first thing this man comes say? Oh, stop calling him average. So that's why the beat will start. But this month he played a good game against a very weak opponent. I tell him from morning said Norwich need to take up Watford philosophy with these coaches, because I don't know what kind of secret this Norwich coach have for them, but I think if this beating don't make him get sacked, then Norwich going to go down,
Man,
unfortunately.
now gets up, brother. But
Wait,
yes, family friend is saying that Norwich
wait,
was really poor.
probably. You just said probably.
No, I said if he doesn't get fired, then they will go down.
Oh, but they
If
do
he
have a
get if he gets fired, they'll stay up.
yeah, even with a new coach, they just don't have the quality players. That's the problem.
Well, I don't think they need the quality players in order to stay up in the league, because I think they can finish above a Newcastle. I think they can definitely finish above a Burnley. And I think they can finish above. A Leeds not playing football right now. A Southampton not playing football right now. So I believe Norwich have had very bad luck as it relates to fixtures. Like, they play a lot of tough teams early. So going down as the season goes on, you're going to see Norwich start climbing in the table when they get those mediocre to bad teams.
Okay.
Well, I
Yes,
disagree, but
yes, family friend is saying that Norwich was really poor, but can't blame Chelsea to do what they did. Punish teams who are bad, and Chelsea
exactly.
did that.
Levon, let me say this lastly. You build your goal difference.
Yep,
Yeah, Liverpool build theirs as well.
could have done better, but wait until we reach down there. Next up, we saw Crystal Palace taking on Newcastle, and we thought that Crystal Palace would have beaten Newcastle in this game because when I look at these two teams, Newcastle have been really poor, and Crystal Palace has been playing well. Just that they have been one of the teams that is unlucky. They haven't gotten the results, and this is a game that I personally expected them to win. Got the ball in the back of the net a few times, were ruled out for whatever reason, and also Benteke got a clear-cut opportunity that he headed on I believe he hit the post, and that should have scored. But other than that, Crystal Palace had a decent game. Michael Olise showing that he can play at the top level, but we really need to see more of these players before we make a judgment on them. But with that being said, Shakes,
Yeah.
Newcastle, they had a caretaker, and you know that we always say when it comes on to like a new manager buzz, the
They
teams
get
they
a
do
little
well.
bounce.
Yeah. So is it a case where probably the owners might be looking at it and say, all right, here what? Let's see what this caretaker manager has to offer, or you think they'll just go ahead and hire a new manager?
As it pertains to the Newcastle job, I believe that they want to select the right manager, because it's not just about money. They would have looked at the Man City model and said, "Hey, guess what? We obviously can't hire a coach like Pep Guardiola for that team right now. Furthermore, they don't even have the quality players to even make sense bringing a type of manager of that caliber, right? So the best thing to do is just buy the time, try to wait for the right coach. See if you can get a few players on loan, because now you have the money where you can actually spend. So you get some players on loan, and then you try to get in some players, some half decent, as we would call it, half decent players into the team. After you do that, then you can try to step up in terms of the manager grade. So you're obviously not going to get the let me not say Manchester United, the Bayern Munich, the Liverpool, the Man City, the Chelsea type coaches, right? You need a manager that can get you to break into the top six. That
All
would
right.
be a first aim,
All right, Shakes.
and then
You
after
remember the
that,
kid that was coaching Roma? I believe was
Fonseca.
yeah. What do you think of him?
Boy, listen, his stint was so short with Roma, and they never really did anything in the Italian league. Even with most of the Italian teams not really great,
Mm,
bar Inter Milan last season. So it's hard to judge with him. I believe that they are just going to be willing to try with that coach, especially because Newcastle they have tried a lot of English coaches in recent time. So why not try a different nationality?
true. But Kims, the man
Yo.
that you beat a lot. I want to say a lot. I mean that you beat him a lot. What you thought he did in that game against Palace?
Man, he was poor in that game. He was so poor. And like as I told you before, from somebody highlighting, I'm going to watch him every single time. And the amount of possession he was losing, I stopped counting at 10. I stopped counting at 10, and I was like, you know what, let me go up and look up this stat, right? So he lost possessions actually 20 times in the game, right?
Wow.
20 times, right? Can look it up as well, right? And then he didn't complete not one dribble, right? This is what the starter tell me. And I
Well,
trust me.
hold on a second, man. So you're telling me that the man that I hear a man say is top
Y-
three, top five
Yes,
easily in the world right now in terms
two.
of
Yeah,
dribbling.
yeah, I don't know how you can get this possessed 20 times, but hey, let me not even say that. And then he's telling me that this person is a person who let Newcastle go. He's the best player for Newcastle, and
Mm-mm.
without him, Newcastle is nothing. And Arsenal, Kofat, everything matters. And then I'm looking, and 9 games gone now, and he hasn't scored or assist in his last 3 games. So, and obviously them substitute him because he was so poor. Right, he was so poor. So yeah, this is the first game he never played 90 minutes because he was just. I mean, he's poor in other games, but this game he was just horrendous. Like he was just so bad. And I agree with you. Like Crystal Palace should have won that game. Should have won that game, along
Easily.
with along with the other games that they should have won.
Yeah, the
But
Arsenal, yeah.
I'm not. I don't know Benteke. I don't know when find back film place in that team, but that man not good. That man not good. That one not good. But I really like how Vieira have this team playing. Even though they're not getting those 3 points, they're really competitive. When they go there to play, they're going to go there and put on a show. They're going to work hard, and you see that these players are actually playing for the manager. Whatever the manager
Yeah,
symbolizes, these players
he
are
has
going.
surprised me as you mentioned that Kims, because I had him to do poorly at that team, but
Most of us
clearly,
did.
yeah, clearly he is instilled something in them, as you rightfully said, his philosophy. He has
Yep.
instilled that.
Yep, most definitely. So, I noticed Umberman run from the show, but it's all right. We'll catch you. We'll catch him another day.
But once again, Kims, as you said the other day, Wilson is the man for Newcastle, and it was Wilson who popped up with that goal. So there you
Yep.
have it.
Yep. That's the man.
All right, next up was Leeds taking on Wolves, and boy, Wolves jump out the block quickly through each and one, got a early lead, but then they were pegged back later and through a penalty that was conceded through what his name again, Joe Gillard. He was wussy for the time that he was on, and he caused a lot of trouble for the Wolves backline, and it once again proved that Nelson Semedo is not a footballer. That man need to go somewhere else, go find a next job. But Shakes, Leeds have been, I don't want to say that word, but they have been
Atrocious.
very poor this season. So Do you think that they have what it takes to actually stay up in the league, or I think that this will be the season for them to go back down?
Boy, I don't know. I believe Mr. Bielsa will be fired by January because he came with a style last year, right? Where it was just all out attack. But I believe that teams have figured him out this year, and that is why the team is so ineffective against the other teams. Um, do I see him lasting until February? No, definitely not. Do I see them going down? They weren't in my prediction earlier when we did the predictions. Um, but boy, it looked very sticky on them. No joke. Like every single week, we're expecting, oh, they're gonna turn it around, but then the performances just keep remaining poor, and I don't see that improving anytime soon.
Okay. Kims, you have Leeds to go down. Do you think that they have any sort of glimpse or hope to actually stay up? Because I mean, when you have teams like Wolves and these teams at your home, you should take care of business because these are games that they call scrap games. So you
Yeah.
know that you're going to face a team like City, Chelsea, and those teams. So you know, so basically losers already, right? But when you face a Wolves has been hit and miss. So these are teams that they take points off. Well, I mean, they took a point here, but that wasn't enough at being at home. So what do you say?
Um. Well, I mean, it's just 9 games in the season, so um, really, every team have a chance of staying up, right? But as Sheikh said, teams really figure them out, right? And my issue with the coach is that okay, a team figure you out. What is your next step? What is another tactic where you can come up with in order to combat that? Because it's always a chess game. So what is a chess game that you can play now when a team find it out? And it doesn't seem like Leeds have any other gear. It doesn't seem like Leeds have any other tactics that they can go to say, okay, if attacking this way doesn't work, then we can do this. It doesn't seem like they can do that. So, they just always end up in no man's land. And luckily, they got that little penalty that, gave them a point, which they really and truly didn't deserve. But, that's how it go. I think it was from game 3 or game 4. And I said, no, man, this Leeds team already, man. They
Hmm.
definitely, because I didn't have them in my initial picks to go down. And I said, no, man, they're definitely going down because, I think a thing like Sheffield. Remember when Sheffield come in the first season, Sheffield come in, Sheffield up there, and then the next season, don't. So, I believe it's the same thing, with Leeds.
You're right.
Hopefully we can get Phillips because no one Phillips bad before him go down. Hopefully we can, grab on to him. But
All right. Before I move on, just have to big up the people in the comment section. I see Owen Dilworth, Shamika Jackson, Fabi Frano, Pepe Paul, Jermaine Watson, Sheldon
don't big
Campbell,
up that guy, Don't big up that guy.
Anthony Henry, Therese McKenzie. Also say Aldan, Leon Price, Cadlan. Also see Adrian Nicholson, Therese McKenzie, as I said, and Kim's favorite person is in the comment
Yo,
section.
don't
Big
big him up.
everybody in the comment section, big up on yourself, man. But
Yeah.
next up we saw, boy, if you talk about a game with two different halves, this is a game that you talk about. When you look at this first up, Everton were basically balling Watford early out. Anthony Gordon was causing Watford all sort of trouble. And Everton, if you ask me, should have been up by at least 3-1 at halftime. No, things took for the worse for them, and boy, Watford poured it on and they did pour it on. Let's say pour, I mean pour. And Joshua King said that. Everton, remember last season when I was there, you guys never gave me an opportunity. So here what? Since as you didn't, this is what I'm going to do. And boy, he scored an hat-trick, and talk about Emmanuel Dennis. He was immense right throughout everything that they did. Kims, you are one that actually believe that this Claudio Ranieri fella will keep them up in the league. This is a
Yep.
step in the right direction because they got
Yep.
wall up 5-0 last week and they said that hey, here what? We're just going to dish up at the 5 to a team. So were you impressed by what you saw from Watford?
As you said, it's definitely a tale of two halves. First half, I'm seeing John, like say Claudia gone by next week. That's what I was saying because Watford wasn't playing any kind of football at all. And then, and I think that, Everton losing last week to West Ham, definitely think they came up with the right approach. And I said, all right, then, Everton look like they can grab these 3 points. But then, I don't know I don't know if Ranieri gave them the talk that he gave Leicester when they won the league. I don't know if at that kind of talk them give them in the locker room, what he gave them some kind of talk, and then they just come out very inspired. They played direct, and they were. I want to say they were clinical, but they could even be more clinical in the second half because they were just running all over Everton. It seemed like, as Sheikh said earlier in the show, the practice match between Chelsea and Norwich. That's what it seemed like in the second half. Watford never looked like the yo-yo team, I want to call them. Watford looked like a team that deserved to be in the Premier League. And it's only a pity that they can't play that way week in, week out. So you're probably not going to see a performance like that until February or March. So, but they really bossed Everton and they deserve the victory. Now Everton is under the microscope.
Okay. Shakes, what do you say?
I wouldn't really say in terms of the yo-yo and Ken saying getting the results say February. I wouldn't put it that far. I would say look out for good results every other 2 weeks from Claudio Ranieri. Yeah, every other 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Next up, we saw Southampton taking on Burnley. A lot of people never expected to see 4 goals in this game. But boy, they started off and I mean, Maxwell Carney got a double. We saw Broja and Livramento, the Chelsea boys, doing the job for Southampton. And boy, talk about Livramento. He was absolutely brilliant throughout that game and could have easily scored twice. And if Walcott wasn't a bug, Walcott would have easily given him an assist as well. But with that being said, Southampton they got a point in which, if you ask me, the game finished based on how both teams played. Both
Yeah.
of them deserve something from this game. None of them
Yeah.
deserve to lose. So it was a point well shared. Shakes, what do you say about this one?
No, I didn't watch that game. That game I didn't watch.
Um. So what I'll say about the game, as you rightly said, none of them deserve to lose, but also none of them deserve to win. Both of them just, I was watching the game, and again, we talk about Burnley and, you know, several occasions, and, Burnley go up 1-0, and after they go up 1-0, then them get comfort. I don't know if they think they can hold at 1-0 until their kingdom come, but then them get comfortable. Then Southampton get in the game, and then Southampton went up 2-1, and then Burnley now have to come back and chase the game. So that's the only way you can kind of get Burnley playing free flowing football. But Walcott, I'm surprised that guy is still playing football because you know his decision making. I guess from his latter part at Arsenal and then when he went to Everton and his decision making just hasn't been as on point as it's supposed to be, especially playing in the Southampton team. You expect him to be the elder statesman, to bring the troops, but it's not like the troops are still bringing him. So it was as I said, both teams deserve the point. I picked 1-1 and it ended 2-2. So both teams deserve a point.
Big up to Countryman in the comment section. I also say Dale Francis. Big up everybody in the comment section. Sheldon Campbell again saying that I don't trust this Watford team. They're showing that they can actually play, but can they play like that next week again? Kim said it. They're that type of team where they give you, and Shakes also said it, that they give you a good game this week. Next week is a total different team you're looking at.
Yeah.
So consistency is what you won't get with these teams at the foot of the table. Just I can guarantee you that. Next up, we saw a team that is rolling. And when I say rolling, I mean that they're literally rolling. They look so good. And talk about one Phil Foden. Phil Foden is at next level right now. And
Mhm.
they steamroll this team very easily. You expected that Brighton would have probably put up a fight, but as in Kim's terms, barbecue chicken. I mean,
Yeah.
City had Brighton every minute of that game for barbecue chicken and could
Yeah.
have easily been more. But boy, Phil Foden is some footballer and he keeps on getting better and better each week that
Mhm.
comes. And as far as I'm concerned, he is the most consistent player in that City team right now. No De Bruyne, Phil Foden is the man right now. Shakes. This is what a team, and a team that is they have an identity and know what they want plays like, right? Remember that City don't have a striker, yet City can beat up team 4-1, 5-0, 6, all them things like those, right? Now, with that in mind, what do you have to say about this one?
Yeah. All right. So that game, I saw some of that game. Let me tell you, and you touched on it just now. The whole thing where you're talking about the identity, right? Over and over, we have seen the Manchester City team infiltrated by different players week after week. It doesn't matter how he switches up his attacking line. It doesn't matter how many players are actually injured. The style of play remains the same. He will switch up his tactics because he does not have the same tactics for all games, right? We all know this. He might not have the greatest plan B, but he has decent tactics to suit the various teams. Remember, Brighton is not a team that is on a lull right now. So this is not Man City beating Brighton 4-1 because Brighton just no good none tall. No. This is Man City outclassing a decent, organized Brighton team. There are many teams who would play Brighton right now and struggle, right? And you mentioned Phil Foden. Yes, you're right. He's able to grow in that team because guess what? He knows the system he's playing in and he plays to his strengths. So another man mentioned Bernardo Silva. The same thing. All those players are able to step up their game against teams like these and just it's like it's so fluid with their team, right? So fluid with their team. But it was a very
But shit, stick a pin
impressive
before you
game
go
by
on.
him.
One thing that I really want to look at, right? When you look at Bernardo Silva, remember when he was at Monaco and even for the first 2 seasons at City, you know that this is a player that you normally see on the wing, right wing most time. You notice that this season, Pep has changed him somewhat, and he has been more playing like a box-to-box midfielder. So when you look at that, that is what good coaches do. Good coaches see little things in players that they can actually work on, and look at him now. Remember that Bernardo Silva couldn't get in this team at one point, but he worked at his
Bernardo
craft,
Silva
he
wanted to leave.
grinded, and look at it now, boy.
This
Bernardo
is
Silva wanted to leave earlier.
Look at it,
About
Atletico.
three
Yeah,
months
he wanted
ago.
to go to Atletico.
Yeah, about 3 months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at it now.
But but you see that is but you see, Levon, that is what, as you said, good coaches do. Not just play the player, but you give the player the confidence that they are able to go on the park and showcase the skills
and
and the ability that they have.
and let me caveat off of that shakes as well. And these are the things that big big managers do in terms of when you're not playing a ball, nobody believes say your position second at the side.
Yep.
No matter the manager not playing a name or not because your name Bernardo Silva mean you're bossing at the side. A performance to the business. We're in a performance business, and if you're not performing, then you go up on the bench. Now he's performing, so now he's getting the side. And I remember that same Phil Foden. I remember, there were games, even when, Aguero was there and Aguero was doing his thing and Jesus was there, he was doing his thing. I remember there was games that Phil Ford wasn't even playing. He was on the bench, rubbing the bench, and a lot of persons saying, oh, Pepper killed the ball a career. Look at Facebook coaches all them going already. Pepper killed the ball a career and so, and, Pep insert him in a certain games, especially when him know say him can shine in those games. And these are the things, and as a fan on the different side of Manchester, these are the things that you look on, and it really pain your heart to see say, a simple X's and O's, and over our side we can't do that.
Okay, don't touch it.
No,
Leave it for now.
I'm just
But
saying.
yes, Faber Frana saying that. That's why we should cut out the excuse of a striker when they draw this. Come on, Frana, you're a coach. Do better than that because they can beat up teams at times like this, but you can see in obvious game where they
Yeah,
do need a
they
striker.
need a striker. Anybody that going to argue that they don't need or they are good enough, no. They would even be better with a striker.
Of course,
Exactly. And
definitely.
here's a City fan Terry saying that City do need a striker. Look at the many occasions when we play the ball in an area with nobody attacking the
Exactly.
ball.
Yeah, because when you have a striker, you have
The
a thing.
focal point.
You have a thing on him, striker's instinct. All them little midfielder there are them little wing players that were coming and striker role. I mean, them have the football IQ, but them not have the instinct. Them not have the hurricane instinct. Them not have the Aguero instinct. For just there in a certain places for receive the ball and so. So definitely you need a striker, 100%.
What City need is just a poacher, and that's it. Because you have so much creative
Yep.
player, you just need someone that will
You
stay in
just
that
need
box.
One
somebody
of
that will just
them
put
need
it in pocket.
them need one of them rude one of them rude Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, and
Just put it away.
even Alan would be perfect for City. That
Hold
would be
on,
the box
don't
that
say
City.
that. Don't say that. Devon, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say
Would be
them things.
perfect for City and horrible for the league.
And
Don't
even
say
and,
them
and
things,
even
brethren.
this guy that Terrace is mentioning, before I get back to the emo comment, you see this guy from Fiorentina, he'll be perfect for City as well. Dusan
Oh
Vlahovic,
yes, yes, yes,
you'll be
yes.
perfect. But here's Demo saying that Pep is a nightmare for fantasy league players. Man, pick anybody and drop anybody. That is
Yeah,
fact. What is one of the worst thing to do when you're playing fantasy league? Don't pick
but
City player.
remember when week in, week out, he must start Sterling, and then after a while, Sterling can't make the side.
Yep,
They just, it's definitely
yep.
true.
But also here's Daniel Edwards in the comment section again saying that good coaches also recognize not all players can play different position, not force a man to play where he can't. That's true.
Well, we see Pep, no, so don't get it twisted now, because we see Pep make some blunder. Because when
Yep.
he play Grealish, I don't remember which game, Champions League game.
As the false nine.
Oh gosh, when you play Grealish right this, so if it was another manager, the manager they get beaten from now till next year. So Pep definitely makes some blunders, but he has more pros than cons, and
I
that is
agree.
that is what we want.
Yep. All right, next up we saw West Ham yesterday getting a 1-0 victory over Tottenham, and Mikel Antonio back on the score sheet. I think Ryan LFC said it that Antonio would have scored, and he popped up with the winner again. Tottenham, they never look good, but boy, West Ham. I mean, people thought that they would have gone down, but here they keep on getting better and better. Kems, what do you say about this one?
So I say interview Nuno come out and say they were the better team and they deserve to win the game. I don't know if me and him was watching the same game, but Tottenham for me, I think Tottenham was flat. I think there was one chance. I think Kane get it when he was supposed to pass the Son, and then he do something like that. I can't remember exactly what happened, but that's about it. I think they were flat. I think West Ham was quicker to every loose ball, every 50-50 ball. I think West Ham showed more hunger, and even the goal that Antonio scored. Hurricane, I mark the man. And I say, Hurricane, if you see what Jamaicans always say, when you play a street ball, road ball, what Jamaicans always say, push a foot. That's all you have to do. If Hurricane does push out him foot, so the goal and a score. Because of that, Antonio, again, we talk about strikers' instinct, them negating, them negating. Antonio just put out him foot and he just go into the goal. And when West Ham score, there's no way Tottenham was going to score back because they didn't threaten all game. I didn't see a threat from Tottenham all game where I said, boy, West Ham should be scared or anything like that. I think it was, the best case scenario for Tottenham would have been a nil-all draw because they weren't scoring at all. No Kane wasn't my favorite player on Spurs. Son wasn't. Lucas Moura wasn't. What to call it? The midfielder, the Ndombele or however you pronounce his name.
Ndombele, yeah.
Him
Correct, correct.
poor. And then when you look at Spurs bench, you never really have nobody who could have come on and quote unquote change the game. So I think the victory was well deserved by West Ham. Hopefully Antonio start finding back him little touch, hopefully, for the national team, when he get to bring him physio so he can come in and do him like a thing as well. But all in all, good 3 points by West Ham. They keep impressing and boy, David Moyes really make some people look like clown right now. Moving on.
Yes, Faber fan again saying that West Ham counter attacks were really good. Man, them look threatening all the time.
Yep.
Shakes.
Yep.
Question: You are the owner of Tottenham and you're selecting a coach. It's put up in front of you that you have these two options, Eddie Howe and Nuno Espirito Santo. Who are you choosing?
Um, Earlier, boss, when we did the preview, I said that Nuno would not bring the sort of spark that Tottenham needs. Right? I have been proven right. So I would have gone with Eddie Howe. Listen, Wolves with Nuno as coach played some decent football, right? But I believe that that was Jimenez, that was Jota, that was Neves. They had like four good people, right? The goalkeeper sometimes, Moutinho sometimes, in terms of performance. But I didn't see where he improved Traore. And if you can't improve Traore, how are you going to go to Tottenham and get decent results? It's just not going to happen. So I'm not surprised by what is going on now. So Eddie Howe, easily.
And people, that people don't actually give Eddie Howe a lot of ratings or shakes. And you know what? You know who Eddie Howe reminds me of? Graham Potter.
I was
These
just
are
about
guys.
to
Yep.
These are guys who plays attacking football, and they don't matter who they play against. They're going to
Yep.
attack you. I remember Pep said it on multiple occasions that he has a lot of respect for Eddie Howe because that man don't come to Etihad and come sit down and lay down. He's going to attack you. No matter if the team done by 4-0, he's going to attack.
oh,
And it is
Listen, those coaches have a philosophy and they stick to it, even when they have inferior players.
yeah,
Sometimes these coaches just don't get a chance with even half decent teams where, oh, maybe they could win a FA Cup, right? With a half decent team. Yeah, so
yeah.
sometimes it's just giving them a decent squad to work with.
man, I'm going to tell you how I realize how people judge coaches, right? So, say for example, if Levon, if you're supposed to say you want Graham Potter at Manchester United, right? The first thing people are gonna say, why am I win? Why am I win? Why you want him? Why am so people now understand is a particular philosophy, how him have the team of play and the quality players that him have. But I just why am we more Zidane, more Mourinho, more all of them people there who is all the glamour and the glory, and then when them come to your team now and them don't deliver the goods where you expect, then them are the worst
It
things you
never
see.
good. It never good for morning.
Yo, yo.
Yeah,
So I just
that's what
believe,
generally going at Kims. That's a fact. Because
yo,
I remember when Mourinho was coming to United, a lot of United fans were, hey, yes, we're getting a winner and all of that.
what?
You see Flaming come in, yeah, you say, yo, this man a crow fan and all of that. I'm like, see it? You guys asked for him, no easier. What do you guys say about that? And
Yep.
it's just proven to be that. But as I said, a lot of people love to run down winners and not looking at the philosophy of that winner. Because
Yep.
Mourinho, for example, right? A lot of United fans knew that Mourinho plays one way, defensive. When he came to United and he's playing defensive, they didn't start cuss about it. Say, why this man come up at us? That's his thing. That's how he plays. He's not going to change that. So, boy, you can't please fans.
Can I
Can't.
add one more name?
Yeah, man, go ahead, man.
Because last year we were singing the praise of Graham Potter. I was also one that was singing the praise of Scott Parker. So even with Scott Parker losing over and over and over, you could see an identity. I even
Uh,
said Scott Parker should have been given the Tottenham job ahead of Nuno
Yep.
because I could see what Scott Parker wanted to do with that Fulham team. They just had inferior quality, which is why they're in the championship.
Shakes, here's Devin saying that Cherry just not good. No coach can improve him. All him do a lift weights.
Come on, man. You must can get him to square a ball.
Welcome to the podcast, Ryan. Welcome.
I'm good.
Where
I
you're
know
talking
you
about?
man.
Where you're
You're in
talking
seventh
about?
heaven.
glad we talked about your team already, you see. We're
Can
glad
I
we
tell
passed
you?
this a long time.
The man
Nah,
they're in
man,
seventh
we
heaven,
still have to
man.
keep me like your little 2 minutes if you talk about the inside, man. So, Ryan, here, before we move on to the next match, just go ahead and talk about your team.
Well, it was what I expected. When you get small teams, you back them up.
Yep.
Um, Chelsea did it and Liverpool did it this weekend. So yeah. I was hoping we have always been getting the chances and we weren't scoring, or sometimes we just not. We just don't do anything during the game for some reason. We maybe get a one chance, score one goal, and don't do anything else. But this game we created chances. We had like 20 odd shots, and we converted 7, which is a great conversion. Normally 20 odd shots, I get 3 or 4 goals if you're fortunate. This time we got all of 7 goals, and that was great showing, especially without our main striker. I guess going up against a bottom place team with a fluid front line, that kind of tend to draw players out, especially when, as I said, they are not as good. They are bottom place team. So
No, Ryan, they're called the 20th place team.
huh?
They're called the 20th place team. Our last place.
Yeah. But I guess what I said also is suitable for them.
But I agree, that's exactly what I said, Ryan. Listen, when you play them small teams, you beat them up.
Yeah, man. Especially when a team goes down to 10, you try and score more goals. You don't just stop playing football and just because you win already. You get more goals, and because at the end of the day, goal difference might be what.
Did Norwich get a red card?
Yeah.
Huh?
They got a red when we were 5-0 up, just like how you guys got a red when they were 5-0 down.
Stick to the script. At Chelsea, we'll stick to the script.
So, yeah, I'm saying when you're leading, even when you're leading by that big margin, you still should go and get more goals because you don't know. This season might come down to goal difference, and
check it right now.
Huh?
Check
it right now. It's like 20 to 21.
All right. So let me ask you a question. Ryan, let me ask you a question. Right? Since we are talking about Chelsea real quick. So can you tell me why Chelsea scored 5 goals versus 11 men, but only 2 goals versus 10 men? Is it a thing where them just, I don't win already? Or like, just tell me, I know you play football and so tell me what going on the psyche, at the team. Say,
yeah, I think normally when you win already, you just go through the motions and you just try to just play some regular football. You try not to concede, but you try also not to do too much because you don't want to overexert yourself or whatever it is that might happen. I mean, if different players react differently, different coaches react differently. So yeah, you don't really have much to exert on. So you just play normal, and you try to maybe get a goal here or there, or maybe not to get injured or whatever. I think Norwich got a red card on the 65th minute. So they got 2 goals in 25 minutes, which not bad in the context, but could have been more. But it is what it is. We got 2. At least we got 2 goals.
Makes sense. Anthony Henry, your teacher never tell us no question is stupid. I'm sure your teacher probably tell you no question is stupid.
Correction to Anthony as well. I wasn't talking about the points. I was talking about the goal difference. Currently Chelsea has a plus 20 while Liverpool has a plus 21. So that was what I was speaking about.
Yeah, understood what you're saying.
Yeah. All right. Next up was Brentford taking on Leicester. Brentford, they did play well. They just never finished their chances. They got chance after chance after chance after chance. They're just going to finish. But, boy, once again, Yuri Tillemans proving his worth. And I've been watching this guy from he was at Anderlecht, then he went over to Monaco, and then to Leicester. And, boy, what a screamer that was from him, man. Shakes, Leicester seemingly finding their footing now. 3 wins on the bounce. They beat a team over Old Trafford the other day. Then they beat Spartak Moscow 4-3 midweek, and then here again they beat Brentford. What do you think about this team? I know that you're a big fan of Brendan Rodgers, and when I said that I want Rodgers to manage United over Zidane, I was laughing after at some point. So.
Yeah. And I have a beating for Kems because a show that I was watching when I was coming back from Kingston one evening, I heard Kems call him the C- manager, right?
I remember.
He labeled Ole and Brendan Rodgers as a C- coach. I wanted to get on the show just to ask him this. So Kems, name the B coaches in the EPL.
The thing is, to be honest with the Sheikhs,
Yeah,
upon revisiting that, I made
you made an error.
a big blunder, big
Oh,
error.
well done. Well done. All right. Thank you.
Okay, we
Thank
can,
you. Thank you. I like how you're swift with the answer.
Yes,
Well
I
done.
made a big blunder.
Well done. All right. But yes, back to the Leicester team now. Listen, Leicester have been really unfortunate when it comes on to injuries since the start of the season, right? And you know, anybody that really thinks that Leicester would not be up, because I had Leicester at fifth when we had done the prediction just before the start of the season, right? And I still have them to finish. Yeah, they have a significant injury, so maybe I'll push them down to probably six, but between fifth and sixth. Because listen, Leicester, once they become a well-oiled machine, they will keep on winning games, right? They just had a very slow start to the season, right? They had a very slow start to the season. And Madison, you see, once Madison can get going, is
Yep.
problem. He has been mentally affected by the whole transfer. Um, where Arsenal wanted him, so he really thought that he was going to leave, right? And if you realize that was his first goal in probably 11 months or 8 months, one of
Yeah.
them. Yeah, one of the
Thereabouts.
two. But a long time. So you see, once he starts to play, the team will click even more. Tielemans has been excellent all season. All season. He's been one player that has been excellent all season. I think their defensive line still needs to improve. But once you're getting more out of your midfielders, so Madison, Tielemans, Vardy up front, you put less pressure on your defensive line. That's how football goes.
yeah.
So I expect them to keep on winning games and,
All
and,
right.
and doing very well.
Okay. Ryan, what do you have to say?
I agree with the sentiments that Shakes has expressed. We all know that Leicester was going through some problems injury-wise and what have you, but I never had any doubt that Leicester would find a way to get themselves back up the table. It was just one of those things. You start bad and then you get into a groove and you get back some players or some players get back form and then you hit a patch and you start to move from there. You get into the gears and start to move. And I think Leicester is getting to that place now. Madison is back playing football. When I say back playing football, I mean actually doing something on the field and not except from being being droopy and all of that. So yeah, I think once Leicester gets into that group, then they could be a problem. And I still have them making the top six as it is right now
Mhm.
because the season is long. There's three-quarters of the season left, so there's a lot of football left to be played. And Brendan is for all that people want to say about Brendan, he's tactical. He has various formations that he can use depending on the players that he has. He can go to a back four, play a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, depending on when Justin comes back. I don't think Papa not coming back this season. He's out
Yeah,
for
he
the
will come
season.
back. He will come back before the season end.
Yeah, but Justin should be back
Soon.
maybe. Yeah. So maybe when those players come back in, then we might see a tweaking of the system to match what the team can do with them. So for now, he has to play this system because these are the players that he has for that system. So it's just common sense football and football decision from the coach. Coaches should match their system based on the players that they have. They don't want to try to force a player into a system because that is what you think is your best philosophy. Sometimes the players, well, not sometimes, the players should be the one that dictate the system that you have. So if a player is out or two players is out that fits the system best, then you tweak it. And I think Rogers was doing that.
Okay. Kims, what do you think
So,
about the game itself and Tillemans?
um, I remember you had asked a question one time if I think if you should go to a bigger club or I don't remember. I think it's that's
Yeah,
what you
I
asked.
did.
We did say, and I was one of them who was, definitely, yeah, you should, because he's a major talent, and now he's filling that void. But I believe that there's somebody from the EPL, some scope from the EPL that keeps watching this show and bringing back news. Every player, when I call out, them just start playing football. When I call out Emil Smith Rowe, all of a sudden, they find another gear. I call up Madison. I say, Madison don't want to play the football, etc., etc. All of a sudden, Madison start playing football, all score win. You know, so somebody is watching this show. And let me clarify what I was saying, Dima, when I was saying that I made a blunder. Brandon Rogers and Ole is not in the same class any at all. Ole not even FG manager, not yet. Probably is XZ and all of them places. So that is what I was saying. And Brendan Rodgers is actually a good manager. I think he's just unfortunate because sometimes when Leicester they fourth and to make Champions League, I'm not say Brendan Rodgers do anything quote unquote bad to make them lose. The team just to play when they're supposed to play. But
The
that
most
game
time,
when
the most time he has always been affected by injuries, some key injuries to
yeah.
players.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate manager. And but this game itself, I told you guys that Leicester was going to win because there's no way Leicester can beat up a side last week and then come this week and lose to Brentford, even though Brentford is at home and they play very well at home and so
But
they get chance.
you know that all the games that they have lost in the top flight so far has been at home. They have lost 3 now at home.
Mhm.
So boy, rough on them still.
They're sliding down the table too.
They're not going anywhere. They're staying in the Premier League, and you will lose that money. I don't think I forget that betting. So just remember
Yeah,
that.
I hope you remember the bit about Barcelona not
Not
making
making
top
top
four.
four.
I might never bet you about Barcelona. Don't come
Kems,
to me with that.
yeah man, Kems, remember you'll have to play Shakes at the end of the season.
All right.
Shakes, you know what the boy's trying to do? He's trying to pull a quick one, and you think that he's going to regain some money. No, remember that Shakes, that you're going to hold Shakes and I at the end of the season. So just remember.
Oh.
Remember
Hey,
that you said. Remember that you
we
said that
talk.
team that
We talk.
was gonna go down in there. Don't come with that.
We'll talk about that
But
off here.
let's move on to boy, a fixture that a lot of people thought that would have provided goal for one team, but it was a one-sided, lopsided fixture. And boy, it rained for Liverpool in the first half. They scored 4, and in the second half they decided that hey, even though they're our biggest rival, we're just gonna go easy on them. Klopp said he talked to the players and told the players that hey, just play. But I disagree with Klopp. I think Klopp just tell players say, yeah, what, don't embarrass them no more.
Have mercy.
Yeah, that's what I think happened. Kims, this is the 5th time that your phone has dropped, and as Demo said, it seems that the 5-0 not so keen enough yet. But boy, that game it was on. I personally, if you ask me, I said it, and a lot of people said that I was a fake fan, but I said I want Ole to lose 3 matches or 4 matches in a row so he can get the sack. All right, they ended up beating Atalanta midweek, in which they should have lost that game as well. But here it was. Man decided that he was going to come out with McTominay and Fred again, who were awful in that first half against Atalanta. So I don't know what went on his thinking that these two guys would have done anything different. But boy, um, you have a hand fit Maguire. Shaw was look a total different player. But with that being said, overall, poor performance, and coach has to take every ounce of blame for this. With that in mind, personally for me, I don't really business about them. I just want to wake up tomorrow morning and say that Ole got sacked. That's all I want to see, because if they keep him, they're not gonna go anywhere. And the worst part about this is that they have Tottenham weekend. Probably when it goes to Tottenham and or Tottenham come to United and he might probably beat them. Okay, pressure ease. Come the following week, I believe they have Atalanta midweek, I think. And then, okay, get a draw against Atalanta in Italy. Cool, pressure is again. Goes to Man City on the weekend, get Wallop. Again, pressure. Get Watford the next weekend, beat Watford. The pressure ease off again. That's the type of thing, unless they're serious, because there's a lot of rumors floating around about they're going to sack him this and sack him that. I don't see what they're contemplating about. But other than that, I'll leave it to you guys to talk about this game because I have no interest in it. Shakes, I know that you have a whole lot to say, so go
No,
ahead.
yeah. Why would you think I have a whole lot to say? I've said it on shows over and over, right? I would prefer if Kem started, right? Because Kem is sort of a older defender, right? So let Kem go first.
All right. First of all, I'm not an Ole defender at all.
Anymore.
I was not an Ole defender, but
Games. Let's be fair. You were.
I was not.
You
Yeah,
were.
you
You were. Games, I remember
I,
when we spoke about you and Nagelsmann, the producer, and I remember Shakes
all
even
right.
talking about him,
Let
Jason
me say,
talked about him, and you said that what has Yulan Nagelsmann won? Remember that? I don't forget that argument in the games. You
yeah,
Exactly.
brought up
but
that argument to me, and I told her
no,
that
but
Nagelsmann is far
no,
superior to this guy.
yes, and I agree that he was far superior. But okay, so this is my team, and I believe this is what Manchester United is trying to avoid. All right, you remember post Alex Ferguson, right? I don't think Manchester United is a team that want to be like a Chelsea where they just change managers all the time. That is not a Manchester United philosophy. Manchester United want longevity. So they want one manager, whoever that manager be, for God the long haul. 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, that is what Manchester United want. And I believe when they did the Van Gaal, David Moyes, Jose Mourinho, and it still never get them where they wanted to go. We still never win no. We still never win the Premier League. We still never win the Champions League. Yeah, guarantee. Okay, we win. I think we win Europa League and something
And the
else. But
FA Cup.
yeah, and FA Cup. But Manchester United, as the brand that we are, we're not supposed to win the Europa League. We're not supposed to dead on this. You understand me? So I believe that is what the owners are, the front office individuals. That is what they are running from. And I believe that is why they don't let go Ole. I also believe that the front office have a kind of thing like Ole, where them kind of care about people's feelings. Okay, Lampard is a Chelsea legend. You think
Yes,
that
it's
man?
called being soft.
Huh?
It's called being soft. Otherwise, them soft. Why you afraid to say it that way? The Jamaican way. The man them
Yeah.
soft. The board
All right.
soft.
You see, Lampard is a Chelsea legend, and Lampard wasn't getting the team where Chelsea needed to be. I know what them do through the door, but I believe Manchester United, somewhere in the back of them, say, "Boy, we can't do this to Ole. Ole plays so much big games for us. Oh, Ole is a part of." And they talk about Manchester United DNA, and I honestly think that is a smoke screen because I don't see the Manchester United DNA from Ole. I don't see the Manchester United play from Ole. But then again, I got some more stuff. Anybody want to talk? Cause I'm not done talking. All
Yeah,
right. So
yeah.
first, hey, boy, I know why you talk about my team. I already throw much shit on my team already. So you still for this one. All right. So now check me out, right? So now check me out. And this is the thing why I believe these players. I don't believe these. I don't believe these players love this manager. I don't believe these players. I believe sometimes when you go out there, you don't see the effort. You look on a Liverpool, you look on a Chelsea, you look on a Man City. Sometimes, the players them tired, but you see they are playing for the manager. Like the manager will say, "Hey, just give me this one," and the players go out there and work for them. But I don't see the players working for Ole at all. All right. And I spoke about this the last time, and I said, why is it that Bruno have to always be in the side? Like, I can't tell when last Bruno play a good game. I can't tell when last Bruno play a good half. Why is
Yeah,
it that
man, you
Bruno?
can tell when last. He was good against Atalanta. You have to give that. The second half against Atalanta, it was good.
Matter Premier League, matter the Atalanta. The Atalanta team, they was at 12 they were supposed to beat them. Because they were missing so many players
Right,
and we still
continue.
strong. Right?
Thank you.
But matter in the Premier League, when last Bruno play a good game, why him can't drop Bruno? Why him can't send a message? Like these are the things. Like the things say, all right, let us look at this level on. If we had Pep with the same team, if we had Pep, do you believe that we'll challenge for the title?
Easily.
If we had Klopp, would we challenge for the title?
Easily.
And if we had Chelsea coach Tuchel, I'm sure we'll challenge for the title.
Easily.
So clearly, it is
I
our
give it to you,
management.
Kems. Hold on, before you move on. I give it to you that had United had Brendan Rodgers, they would have been challenging for the EPL title.
Yep.
You say if
Say it
they, you say,
again. Say it again. Say it again.
you say if they had, yeah, and so, and I'm not going to discredit Ole because he has done some good things for the club. But he's the type of coach who can bring you to the foot of the hill. Like he'll bring you to the foot of the hill, you know. But he can't get you up the hill. So I
Ken,
believe
can I add something to what you just said?
yes, sir, go ahead.
It's easy to discredit him. What Ole has done is what a sporting director is supposed to do at a club, not what a coach is supposed to do. So guess what?
Right.
Give him credit if he were a sporting director, but I did not bring in a man to come and smile during interviews, right? Or sit down on a bench, or only get up when my side under one. And when you get up off the bench, you are literally saying nothing. All you're doing is just pushing your hand forward.
All right, Sheikh, some good point. And I'm going to add to that. You know that today Josh and I was having a conversation. See? I said that, all right, what United don't realize is that you're at a point that you haven't won an EPL title in our Champions League in ages. Now is not the time for make no manager come learn from the job, you know.
Nope.
This is not the time for it. And I hear people talk about it's not in United DNA to chop and change coaches, but people have to realize that that's how football is now. Nobody not stay on the club for 10 years. Nobody not
No,
depend that.
no,
Right?
but
Kems, look,
level.
look at what I'm saying, Kems.
No, I
I
understand what you're saying. But hold on, before you continue, right? And Ole made a point that I agree with. A lot of persons didn't, but I agree with it when he said that winning trophies, all right, yeah, it's nice and dandy, but how the team is progressing is more important than winning the trophies. Why? Let us use Arsenal for example, right? Arsenal won trophies. Do you think Arsenal is in a better place than Manchester United right now?
They're on the same points as us right now, so I wouldn't even bother to say that. We're so we have Tottenham next,
No,
and then
no,
Man City after
no,
that. So I really wouldn't bring in Arsenal right now.
no,
It's a terrible name to bring in right now, Kims. No joke. I am so serious right now.
Shakes with the fact that Arsenal started off the season so poor.
Levon, at one point, everybody had Arsenal to be relegated. We ended on points with Arsenal.
Nobody was
And
serious.
I hear Kim talking about progress.
No,
And
hold
what
on.
the sporting director Ole is talking
No,
about.
hold on.
Come on, Kim. Nobody do Arsenal into the contest.
Shakes, hold on, shakes. Just hold on, no. So what may I say, right? No, like we have a serious reason, you know, because nobody really had Arsenal getting relegated. If you really like football and know football, right? But what I'm saying is Arsenal, you know, they win them FA Cup and they win them trophy and so. But right now Arsenal now play European football. So let us switch. So let us switch spots now. Would you Levan, would you take the FA Cup trophy that Arsenal win to say, yeah, you win a trophy, but no, you're not in a no European competition? Would you take that?
Brother, listen to me, Kims.
No, just answer the question at first.
Hold I'm going to answer a question, but I'm going to say something else. I said it in United group that when people talk about United, if you go for every trophy, I said that there's only two trophies that I care about.
Realistically.
EPL and Champions League. That is all that I'm interested in. So FA Cup, no. I wouldn't take that.
Okay. Because a lot of fans out there are saying, well, Arsenal win a trophy, but as Ole was saying that, the progression of the team has gone well, and trophies is really egotistical for managers, which is true. I mean, obviously you want to win trophy, but it's more come from an egotistical standpoint.
You know what comes down to that statement? That statement is coming from someone that lost finals. Someone that drops out of semi-finals. That is a loser statement.
Thank you, boss. That is a man that has.
But remember that Pochettino said that before. Ole, Pochettino was the first one I hear that those words come.
Yeah. And these
And
guys
Josh
up here
was
wanted
losing
Pochettino.
final to
These
fun.
guys up here wanted Pochettino to coach Manchester
But
United.
Pochettino is a better coach than
He's a
Ole.
better coach.
He's not even
But
close.
but here's the thing now. If you guys want a next club legend, Steve Bruce is available.
Oh
Who?
Lord, don't even bother. Don't even bother.
Ryan, I take this thing for gimmicks now, you know. I joke thing.
Why you
Bro,
want? Why you want the Manchester United fans to go and hang themselves now?
And he's well experienced. He has over 1,000 games.
Oh Lord. No, exactly 1,000, and it will stay at that.
All right, so within the game itself now, okay, let us put things into perspective, right? I believe Liverpool was more clinical than Manchester United. I believe when Liverpool went up 2-0, I think that 20-minute spell after that, I think United got some decent chances. And if we had put one or two of those away, I mean, coulda, shoulda, woulda, right?
All right,
But
Kems. United had the first opportunity of the game. I
First.
like Bruno Fernandes as a player, but that all day long should have been buried. No excuses. Either way,
that is Bruno after the hat trick. That has been Bruno after the hat trick.
But Kems, either way, for me personally, I don't think it would have made a difference. Why? Because we would have still been overrun. That's my issue, you know.
Yep.
When I saw that
No, I agree because I mean Henderson looked like prime Pirlo in the midfield. Liverpool midfield. Running rings around you guys. I was like, what is going on here?
And that is true because I also saw a stat that Manchester United was one of the lowest, if not the lowest, running team in the league. Like one of the lowest. And
so Kems, you want the stats? You want the stats? Into goal, United is last. Tackles made in the Premier League, United is last.
Yeah. But why is it okay? But then
hold on, can I just interject a second? I don't know if you guys saw the argument between Gary Neville and Souness.
Yes, I did.
When they were arguing about, and I think Gary was saying that, I think it was Souness. I don't remember who it was, but they were saying that with Ronaldo, you lose a lot of your pressing because you're supposed to start the press with the forward, but Ronaldo is not giving you the press that you need from the top. And yesterday also, Michael Owen was critical of Rashford and Greenwood because the first goal that you got that scored on you guys, it was because of lack of pressing. Nobody stepped to the players. It was just somebody. Ronaldo, I think it was. I don't remember who it was. Stepped to the goalie when they should step to the
Greenwood does one.
Yeah, and then they just play ball around.
It goes back to what Kim said. Remember that Kim said it earlier, when he started. He said that you can see that these players don't really rate the Manchester. They're not.
No, but they're not even half pressing. They're not doing anything. You're supposed to start the press from the top. And all right, Ronaldo not going press. Let us say Ronaldo don't press. Rashford and Greenwood should at least be doing something in terms of the press. They should even Wan-Bissaka is getting isolated because Greenwood not coming back. Rashford, who normally runs back, is not helping Shaw. So the press just gone totally. And now your midfield too is isolated because by Liverpool midfield three, and you know that Bobby Firmino going to drop back. So that's basically 4 against 2 right there. So you guys just get totally annihilated in the midfield.
Hold on, give me 1 second, Shakes. I remember I asked a question, and I said to you guys, what is going to happen when the Liverpool midfield, when the Manchester City midfield go up against these bugs that we have here? And I hear, I don't remember who was saying, I know I never know, of course, but them say, no man, don't worry, man. Fred will step up, and I said, it's impossible for Fred to step up because Fred will run up and down, and as I keep on telling you guys, all they want to play 2020 with test match cricketers. That's all they want to do. And as a result of that, we always ever get outrun against any good team. If you look at it in a level, and Shakes, you want time, so I'm going to cut it short. If you look at it, every team will play against me, them step it up, and then the next week, them drop back. Look on Everton. Everton was missing so many players against us. Look on Aston Villa was missing so many players against us. Look on even Leicester was missing. The Leicester were play against Manchester United and the Leicester were play against Brentford was two different kind of Leicester. Two totally different kind of Leicester. Go ahead, Shakes.
So I'm glad you brought that up, that last point, because I'm going to touch on what Ryan said also. But you are saying that Manchester United makes every team in the Premier League look world class.
Yeah, because they're easy to play
I
against.
am dying to see Manchester United versus Norwich. Dying.
1-1 draw. 1-1
I
draw.
am dying to see Manchester
Gilmore going to
United
string up in the
versus
midfield.
Norwich, right? Because if you can't find a bigger indictment on our team, it has to be that game. Because that's a championship team, right? So I want to see what Manchester United would really do against Norwich. That's one. On the point that Ryan just brought up, the pressing. Who on God's earth expect Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, them players, Robin and them people they back in the day to press? Those players don't press. It's the other teammates are supposed to press. Everybody know that. Listen, you substitute attacking quality for the lack of defensive work rate that certain players will do. So my God, you're telling me that Mason Greenwood don't even reach 20 yet. Can't run back?
Well,
You are
he's 20.
telling me that
He's 20.
He's 20, fine. All right, he just turned 20. Marcus Rashford is a youngster, and you are telling me that he can't run back? Something has to be wrong with the team itself.
And also, Shakes, to add to that, it let me question. Like, when I really want to see a Manchester United training session. If you can let me see, like,
You want to see that?
yeah, man, because the way how they're playing, it must have come from somewhere. It must have come from what they want to do from
But
the
there's
training.
always an origin.
Yeah,
There's always a starting point to everything with every team. There's always a starting point. Things can't just change week in, week out. But then with Manchester United, nothing ever changes.
And I think one of the most unfortunate things for our team is that I don't believe our best players are
The best team.
hard-working players. I just don't believe that. So, for example, like it was heart-wrenching to see Maguire out there. It was Shaw, who I call the best left back from Euros, come straight up. That man looked like that man looked like Danny Rose right now. I saw that man look absolute. But I don't know if because Chilwell starts score, the man look absolute.
Kims, you know what happened? Yes, when you play players that are unfit, this is what happens. Because both of them are not fit. Remember that Shaw was down injured in a game, And this following weekend, we see the man come back in the Premier League. Same thing with Maguire. Why don't you give these players time to rest? I don't wish injuries on players, but you know that had Rashford injury not gone that bad, he wouldn't have gotten any rest either.
Exactly, because you can use the last 2 seasons to prove that, because Rashford break him back the season before, and now he break him shoulder. So he must go and break something else. Obviously, if he never get the chance to do the surgery and rest.
But
And listen, I believe even with that shoulder injury, he would have ended up with some chronic injury, which is why he went and did that surgery. So he would have probably ended up with something like tendinosis in the shoulder. Why he had to do that surgery.
The thing is, right, and I believe one word that I think we misuse a lot, on any forum, any podcast, is the word great. Is the word great. And right now, I think Manchester United have players who can do a lot of great stuff, but we not think them have no great players right now. I will hype up Bruno a lot, rightly so, for what he did and goal involvement and assists and stuff. But right now, Bruno not ready. Right now,
I've always said it. Bruno Fernandes has never shown up in a big game for Manchester United. I am still waiting.
Yeah.
If it's one thing about me, Shakes always go out on a limb, until proven otherwise. Manchester United fans are always afraid, or Jamaicans are just afraid in general. But I've yet to see Bruno Fernandes
Yeah.
play in a big match and influence a big match. If
I agree.
somebody can show me one and don't tell me him score a free kick in the FA Cup against some little schoolboys, don't give me that against Liverpool, right? Because guess what? We didn't even win the FA Cup.
Yep. Yep.
All right, so Shakes, looking at the game yesterday now, your boy, your favorite footballer, that should have been a red card. Not Gurna Connor. That's what Cristiano did and Curtis Jones. That should have been a red card.
I think he got lucky that he kicked the ball, but
Yeah,
in real
yeah,
time, it looked like a red card.
yeah, in real time. And thank God for VAR because it wasn't a red card. Because
That
if you
was a
actually
that
kick
was
the
a red
ball,
card.
if you actually kick the ball, Levon, it can be a red card.
Come if you come off, I feel a long time one thing get a red card too. I
But,
wanna
but,
I
but, but
wanna
guess what, Levon? Let me tell you something. I remember when you were doing the show on Friday, and I was in the comment section, and I said Ronaldo should not have started that game
I
because
kept
guess
on
what?
saying that Shakes that yo, you know what? If you're going to start a striker, start Cavani. Cavani
Cavani,
presses.
exactly.
And also, all right, you know what? Bypass United. Zane, talk about Klopp. Everybody might have come with the intention that, hey, you're going to see Mane against this team. Klopp said, here, Mane, bench, Jota
Thank
start.
you.
That is what smart coach do. And you as a coach see the form that Salah has been in all this season. I tell me that you don't come with no sort of thing to counteract whatever Salah is going to come with. I mean, some things are obvious in life now, some things you just can't stop. But at least attempt it. You see me? If we see then try to attempt doing stopping Salah, no could I say at least then try. We never see none of that at all. And boy, Brennan,
Levon, what's his name? So Alex used to use man markers. With his name is G Sung Park. His
Yeah.
only task on the field was to stay in the pocket of another player, right? And when they were emptying pockets, it's G Sung Park pockets the player normally fall out of. All right,
So
and that
come
is
to
how we
you know the
won
last
game.
you know the last player that I saw did that for United is a
Rooney?
man that is no at PSG now. And
here.
Oh,
Era
here,
was
And
is a
yeah.
man that
you
they can
remember
use
the
some
you remember the game when in pocket
Hazard.
Hazard?
Yep,
Yep.
Even when Herrera
he
scored
did
that
that
match
couple
winning goal and
times,
turn
yeah.
on. You remember? I think Man U won that game 1-0 and Herrera scored the goal and turn on. I look to see where Hazard. There.
Yeah.
Alright. So this is before I know no one talk about Liverpool and so, but this is one thing. Obviously the rivalry was a big thing, and we
Water down
can't.
right now though.
Huh?
Get water down.
I mean, it have to water down if I
Yeah,
just
there's no rivalry.
one team just clearly better than the other, but I'll give thanks for Liverpool because trust me, it could have been 9, it could have been 10, it could have been 12. I don't know. The players probably just have some conscience
Yeah,
because all right, when we lost 6-1 to City, it never feels so. It never looks so. When we lost 6-1 to Tottenham last season, it still never looks so. It still never feels so. What that five did, it looked like Liverpool was just toying with us. It's like, all right, when you play with your little brother or your little sister, and anytime you want to score, you can't just score. That was it to me.
All right.
It was like,
Kems, you and Shake spoke about that Chelsea game against Norwich being a training session.
yep.
This was the biggest training session you
It
could
was
probably
even a
ever see
bigger
this
training
weekend.
session. And Kems, you're wrong. It's not because it was Liverpool. It's actually because the coach, his name is Jurgen Klopp, and he actually respects the history of Manchester United. Why? And probably because Sir Alex used to be the coach of Manchester
Yeah, man,
United,
he has a lot
and
of
many
respect
of
for
those
Mr.
managers
Alex.
actually look up to Sir Alex. So that is why he told his team, listen, have mercy on these players. Because you could see it. They did
It was clear as day.
absolutely nothing in that
And I
second
never like
half.
and I never like it.
Yeah, you never like it because you wanted Manchester United to lose by more. That's why you never like it. But it
well,
was just listen, it's just because of Klopp why we didn't get 10. No
well,
joke. We were joking on the field saying 7,
Careless.
but listen, it could have been 10. Easy,
Yep.
easy.
Thank God for clap, because boy.
But Kim, you know what's the funny part? I remember when Owen Dilworth came in the comment section on Friday night and the man keep on typing 7-1, 7-1, 7-1. A lot of people in the comment section were laughing after him, you know.
Yeah,
Came
but
close.
it felt like 7-1.
Yeah.
It
But
literally felt like 7-1.
Ryan, we're going to talk about a player that he just seemed to reach a different level this season. He's on another level. Best player in the world right now. World class, if you ask me. Mohammed Salah.
You
Salah?
sure the size, you sure the sample size is enough?
You don't
Shit.
know.
No,
Kim,
I don't need
this
say
is
so.
this is not Manning's man. But Ryan, the player has lifted his game, and what I've realized with Salah this season, you know that Salah basically normal just score goals, but we also see Salah play making now. So if you look at the player, how do you assess what Salah has done for Liverpool this season?
Well, I am glad that Salah realizes that when he also assists, he helps the team a
Even
lot
more.
because Salah was always selfish. He was always getting the 20 odd goals that season, but his assist rate and passes were very low. Now he realizes that, oh, you know, I still can score 20 odd goals for the season, but I still can also do that and do more. So now he is now assisting. I don't know if he thought that if him assist more, his goals are going to drop because he's going to take less shot. I don't know if that's what he was thinking, but now he is making more passes and being more of a team player, and it has brought his game to another level. Yeah, we might want to say sample size low or whatnot, but he's performing against the big teams by doing what he's doing. He's scoring against all comers. He's assisting as well. So I think it is a good enough sample size to say whatever. It's not that he was an average player who just blew up over the season. He was always up there. It's just that he has gone to another level. Just like last season when Hurricane that 20 odd goal and about 14, 15 assists, he just took his game to another level. So that is basically what Salah is doing, and right now is the best performing player in
All right,
world football.
so far this season he has played 12 games overall across competitions, and he has 15 goals and 5 assists to go with it. So I mean, what more sample size do you need? Shakes, go
Exactly.
ahead.
Anybody. I'm a real Manchester United fan, and anybody that can say that Salah need a greater sample size is wicked. Here why. Everybody will boast and say the EPL is the toughest league in the world, right? But you see, just because the man not playing for our team, oh, he's not the best in the world. Rubbish.
Well,
Who
to
is
be
in better form than Mohammed Salah right now?
to be fair, Shakes, to be fair, all of us on here said that he was the best player in the world right now. It was actually Manningsman
It
who,
wasn't a United fan. It was actually an Arsenal
yeah.
fan said that it
But
was too much of a small sample size.
so since you want to bring that argument, Shakes, I'll tell you what he said. So his argument was that he believes that Benzema is playing better than Salah right now. That was and Lewandowski. I think Lewandowski he said.
Yeah,
Yeah, he said
Lewandowski's up there as well.
yeah, Lewandowski. So he said Lewandowski, but then Demo hit back and say, hey, well, Salah is assisting as well. So that's how Salah get the edge. But he was arguing Lewandowski. That's what he was arguing.
Listen, Lewandowski might have more goals, and prior to this season, I had Lewandowski as the best player in the world. But guess what? For me, this season, Mo Salah has taken his game to another level, and everybody can see that. Listen, it's like a man on Kilimanjaro, and all of a sudden, you can't see him because he's on Everest, right? That is where Mohamed Salah is
Well,
right
another
now. And nobody in the right mind can disagree with that. And if you disagree, you're only lying to yourself just because you don't like the man.
All right, I'm going to ask all 3 of you guys this question because I keep on seeing it floating around. Mohamed Salah or Ian Hazard?
Oh,
Who's
no
the better player?
comparison.
um You mean in them prime? Well, there
Overall,
are two.
overall.
Yeah, two. I mean, both of them play wide.
Mhm.
Are wide forward who play wide, but they
Okay.
operate two different ways.
Okay. What are you
They
They're
saying?
do.
not the exact. I mean, remember Salah's game is structured
All right,
around
let me rephrase the question.
goal.
So, if or whenever their career basically, all right, right now, if they should retire today, right, who would be the greater player?
I don't know. To be honest.
You don't know? Oh, the man said this.
No, we're gonna forget. We're going to forget Hazard pass just because him not perform now.
Hazard no
Remember
reach them.
Hazard one player of the year, you
Hazard
know.
no. Hazard don't
Remember
reach this.
Hazard one player of the year.
Okay. Hazard don't reach these heights.
No, I'm
Like
saying Hazard is not a big goal scorer as Salah. That's why I'm saying they play they play the same position essentially, but they operate different roles. Just like how Firmino is a player as a number 9, but him don't play as a typical number 9. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, you guys haven't answered it, so answer the question. Shakes, who you think would go down as a greater player, Salah
Salah,
or
easily.
okay? Kims, you agree as well?
Salah, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you guys a question because both of you guys are over. Ryan is undecided. So, if you're using what Salah has done so far, right, using his stats and all of that, why is it that Iniesta is rated as a greater footballer than Frank Lampard? And Lampard has far superior stats to Iniesta.
I can tell you why.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Look here.
Because Frank Lampard can never and has never influenced a football game like Andres Iniesta.
Facts.
Andres Iniesta is top 6 all time world football. That's how I rate Andres Iniesta. Andres Iniesta, put him in any single football team, put him in any corner league, anywhere in the world. Andres Iniesta can impact a game, right?
So it's basically what I just said then, where the operator as central midfielder, but the roles different. They operate in the same position with different roles.
You guys are making Ryan argument stronger, you know?
No. And I agreed with Ryan when he made that point. However, you asked who would go down as the greater player. I said Mohammed Salah. Why? Because of his impact with the goals and what the Liverpool team has
So what are you
achieved.
saying? So what are you implying, Shake? That
Hold
Salah
on.
that's Salah
The
All right,
Barcelona
I
team.
would not agree that
The
Lampard
Barcelona team.
does not affect games
Exactly. I was going to bring that up. Shake
because
that is not a fair statement.
if you look at Lampard career, Lampard have 100 odd assists in the Premier League.
Now,
All
but so talk about Lampard because we're talking about the totality now. So tell me
And
about Lampard.
you see, I really did not want to bring the World
Tell me about
Cup
Lampard
into
with
it.
England.
I never want to bring the World Cup into it. I never want to bring the Euros into it. Because listen, even at club level,
Anywhere Iniesta go.
even at club level alone, Andres Iniesta is in another galaxy to Frank
I can
Lampard.
remember a particular.
Right,
There is no chance.
I
There
can
is
remember a
no
particular
chance.
game.
Hold on.
Chelsea was a man down.
Hold on,
Was a man
Ryan.
down.
There is no point in putting Iniesta and Frank Lampard in the same sentence. It's a disrespect to Andres Iniesta.
That's like comparing.
I disagree. They are not far. They are
You
not. I
guys are
can
the ones that are
understand.
disrespecting the topic and disrespecting Frank Lampard. You guys aren't being fair.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
Shakes, right?
Yes.
You're behaving like they are miles
Shakes
apart.
is pretty of himself.
They are miles apart.
They are not miles apart.
They are galaxies apart.
There are two world class players, so they cannot be miles apart.
All right, let me tell you easily. Andres Iniesta
You can't.
has
No, hold on.
finished
You
in the
can't
top
say
three.
Iniesta. You can't say Iniesta without this in Lampard still enough.
No, but hold on. But I didn't say anything to this Lampard. All I said was
You did.
no.
You
I
did.
said we should not put them in the same sentence.
That is disrespecting the man. You said
No,
that.
it's not.
No, that is not. That's not.
Hold on. Even coaches, club captains, and the press viewed Andres Iniesta in a different light because
Of course, because they're different. They operate differently.
hold on, guys, because he finished in the top 3 of the Ballon d'Or. Where did Frank Lampard finish?
In the top three of the Ballon d'Or.
In the who?
You forget second, as a matter of fact,
When?
2005.
2000?
2005.
Who?
Okay, go look back at the result.
Oh, first me I know about that.
Okay, all
No,
right.
Shakes, if you're going to use the
So
goal
that's why
and
I
assist,
said
if
careful
you're
when
going to
you say
use the goal and
Lampard.
assist for Salah, why is it that you're ruling out it for Lampard? Because that is what basically you have done, you know.
No, live on. But the thing is, the
And
thing is,
Kems, I have a clap for you, give you, you know. So
no,
I'm just
hold
waiting
on,
for you to finish.
hold on, no. Let me tell you something. All goals and assists and impact and stuff, all those things are not created equal. So you can't say, okay, because this for Salah and who would they compare Salah and Hazard means say you're gonna use the same measuring stick for
Yep.
Iniesta and Lampard. Like from your look on it, and I'm not going to say Lampard is not a good footballer, right? But compare Lampard and Gerrard, compare them two
Thank
balls.
you.
But you
Frank
can't
Lampard and Paul Scholes.
like when we watch Iniesta play football,
Listen,
there's
them
no
man
way we
are
can
bad.
say. There's no way we can say, boy.
Cool.
Hold on,
Shakes,
hold on,
not
hold
Shakes.
on.
Hold on, Kems. Listen up, Kems. You're a man that is a big Messi fan, and I'm going to use Shakes' own argument. Cristiano Ronaldo has more impact in big games than Messi. So why is it that they rate Messi more than Cristiano Ronaldo? Since that you
Well,
agree with Kems'
no.
Shakes' argument, you know.
Oh, you talk about you ask me or you ask
Who
Shakes?
you ask? Yes.
You,
Oh,
Kems.
Thames. Oh,
Because
okay.
you were in agreement with Shakes' argument about the impact that Iniesta has in big games. So answer that.
Well, for me personally, Messi is just a footballer with me, like and I think he
So it's just because I like him. Okay.
I think he offers a more overall rounded game than a Cristiano Ronaldo. That is my thing. That's what me think. That's what me think. Honestly, and again, you can use stats and things that tell half of the story, that tell quarter of the story. But I test never fail. When I see Iniesta play football, and I see Frank Lampard play football, I have never once said,
Stop,
boy.
cheese.
I have never once said that, boy.
All right.
Boy.
But
Boy,
Kems and Shake, right?
All right, hold on.
You
Before
said
Josh
the
come
eye
in.
test don't fail, right?
All right, go on, Josh.
Or does the eye test come into Salah and Hazard? Because Salah looks more skillful and more impactful on the field of play than Salah.
No. Actually, Hazard does because Hazard has
You
years
can't
of
cheat Hazard.
Hazard does.
No. Hazard
Hazard
should have
does.
said.
So why is Hazard the greater player then?
Huh?
Why is it Hazard the greater player since
Because the sort of
more
impact that what's his name?
But
That
what kind of
that
impact Salah
Salah
has
has
played?
had on this
What kind of
Liverpool
impact
team.
Salah has? What kind of impact?
Hold
Yeah,
on.
but with all of that
Because
said,
guess
Hold
what? You
on.
said that Salah has
Hold
goal
on.
impact,
Hold
right?
on.
Hazard has
You
won
said
Player
that
of the
Salah has
Year.
had
Salah
goals,
hasn't won it
right?
yet.
Using the goals for
Let's make
Salah,
it
right?
easy. Let's make it easy. Mohammed Salah, when he was coming from Fiorentina, it was Fiorentina, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He went there for a while.
Yes, when he was coming from Fiorentina, who was Mohamed Salah in terms of football?
A good footballer. He assisted. He had quite a lot of assists and goals before he came to Liverpool. People are just saying that it's just Fiorentina. He did play well over there.
All right, but in terms of how people would say this one footballer have ability versus another player, everybody would say that everybody gave Hazard having more ability than Mohamed Salah. No, so when Hazard came from Lille, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Hazard, everybody would say that he had more ability than Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, because Hazard couldn't make the Chelsea side and Salah couldn't.
Remember, Liverpool, they weren't even a big team, quote unquote, when they were buying Mohamed Salah. When Eden Hazard was coming to the EPL, it was a dogfight between Chelsea and Manchester United.
Yeah.
Right? He actually picked Chelsea because they won the 2012. It was the 2012 Champions League, right? Yeah. That's why he picked them. So where he was coming from, he was coming from a higher point than Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah has risen up the ranks more than Hazard. So I have to give Salah more praise, right? Not only that.
Okay, I'm not sure I get your point, but okay.
You guys mentioned the word goal thing.
Shakes. What I get from what
No,
Shakes is
last
saying.
point.
Right, for instance, you look at Christian Messi.
Yeah.
People would say that Messi is far away bit skillful than
Right,
Christian,
that
has
is
more
hard.
talent than Christie. However, it's the same thing with Hazard. People look at Hazard and say Hazard has more talent. However,
Yes.
Salah with
Has more.
limited talent, you would say, has done things that you think
All
that a
right.
player that
But
as
guess what?
Hazard
But the
or
same
Hold
could be
Christie
said of, but the
done.
same could be said of Lampard and Iniesta.
No,
Iniesta is
no,
clearly
All right.
no.
All right. Let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this in your right mind, and I hope nobody is drunk on the program right now. Frank Lampard has more goals than a certain French footballer called Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah, Lampard better than him too.
Let me ask Ryan this question. Which one better?
First of all, Ryan never said Lampard better than
No, 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 no,
Iniesta.
no, no, no.
Ryan
I didn't
said,
say you said
hold
anything.
on,
I
man, hold
asked
on.
him a
Before you
simple
asked me the
question.
question because you try to paint the view that Ryan said Lampard is
I don't
better.
need to
Ryan did
change
not say
anything.
that.
History is
Huh?
history, guys. We can't change it. It doesn't matter what we see on the show.
So what I'm trying to say to you is that you have to judge players by, even though they play the same position, they have different roles. They were two world-class players, but you're trying to say Lampard was, you're basically saying Lampard was a bug.
No,
And
I
Iniesta
never
was
said
a
that.
great player. Yep,
No,
that's basically what you're saying.
no. If compared to
But
Iniesta, it's a
I
bug.
said they should not be in the
Disrespect.
same sentence.
Okay, but
Is
here's
that
the thing. Let me
disrespect?
point out
And
something to you. Hold on, man. Let me just say something. I remember this particular game. Chelsea was a man down, 2 goals down, and Lampard was on the same field with Iniesta and took the game to Barcelona, make a pass when nobody never see except Ramirez, and we got back into the game. And
Okay.
Lampard bust the game based on the fact that we were down to 10 men. And even though we were sitting back and whatever, when Lampard got the ball, he was the one doing things with it. That same game that Iniesta was on the field. So you were
Awesome.
no,
Okay.
this
So
is
you
this
did
is to
one
say
thing.
that
You did one
you
thing.
were the one, Shakes, who said that Lampard don't dictate games. That's not true either. You don't have 100
Hold
assists
on.
in the
Hold on.
league. If you're not,
Whoa,
if
Ryan.
you
Ryan.
cannot dictate a
Ryan.
game.
Ryan. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's what I
You
said.
never mentioned not about dictate since night, so don't do that, boss.
impact is the word that was used.
Same difference, man.
I
Impact
never
dictate.
said that.
All right.
It is
Come
the
on,
same
man.
thing. It
All
is the
right.
same
Give me.
thing.
Come
Hold on.
on, man.
Hold on. Give me a talk, right? Okay. So you see the Hazard and the Salah comparison. You can go either way. You can, if you choose either one, I don't think it can be a quote unquote wrong answer. The Ronaldo Messi, I think is the same. You know, you can choose Ronaldo, you can choose Messi. But the Lampard Iniesta argument, like that is so.
It's a
That is
joke.
like that
It
is
is
like
no
so.
joke. Listen, Kems, listen. The reason why it was brought up was Shakes used Salah's goal and assist.
Yes.
That was why that came in the reckoning.
Exactly.
People are using
Exactly.
No,
Lampard
not just the
goal
goals and
and assist.
assists, but the goals and assists and how he has impacted the Liverpool team and
But
where they are coming from.
Hazard impacted the Chelsea team.
Yeah, but Chelsea were always winning even before Hazard came to the team. And you can't
And if you go
disagree.
by that, Shakes, I'm going to tell you that you have a world class coach like Klopp is going to improve players like Salah. So if you come with that, I'm going to come with that same thing.
No, but
The
hold
Chelsea
And
on, but
Chelsea
hold
was
on.
winning because Lampard was in the
Let me ask
team.
you this. Didn't that Chelsea team have a bunch of world-class players when Hazard went to that team?
name the world class players that they had.
No, a Ryan team. A Ryan team.
No. You said they did. And that I'm saying. So
But they
tell me.
did. But
Who?
they did.
Who?
I
Give me them.
wouldn't say so because
Shakes, most of those players were good.
Lampard was
They were aging.
34.
They were aging.
Lampard was 34. Drogba was 34.
Yeah, they were aging.
Czech was like 31, 32.
Old
So they
players.
were
Old
aging
players.
stars.
They were
So I
aging.
wouldn't say they were still world class.
They were just great legendary.
John Terry was 31, 32 thereabout as well. So
All
no.
them crossed the
Come on,
prime.
Shakes. Don't do that, Shakes. Chelsea team never have no world class players at the time when
They had they had former world class players.
Yes, that were
world-class
aging.
players. That were aging.
All right. And who did Liverpool have when
Who did
Salah came?
Liverpool was a building, a team in building.
Exactly, and a great coach behind it.
I'm still waiting on the answer. Frank Lampard has more goals than
No, I am
Zinedine
not going to
Zidane.
answer. I am not going
Shakes,
to answer
stop that
that on the
nonsense,
first.
Shakes. You tell us I will just bring that argument into this because you talk about Salah's goal and
Let,
assist.
let me ask
Even
you.
though
Let me ask you
Lampard,
this.
even
Let
though
me ask you
Lampard and
guys this.
Iniesta were central
You're
midfielders,
using
they have
Salah goals
different
against
roles.
Lampard.
Let me ask you guys this. Is Andres Iniesta on the same level with Zidane? Yes or no?
No,
To some people he is, but
Who
no.
who you
I
have
would say
greater?
yes. I would say yes.
Who
I
you
would
have
say yes.
greater level on? Because you
I
say
would say
no.
yes.
Who you have greater?
All right. Going by everything that I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Iniesta because I've seen more of Iniesta. However, based on what I have read and what I've watched, I'd say Zidane.
Oh, okay. All right.
I would say Iniesta. I would say Iniesta because Iniesta was more consistent.
So it's very, very close, right?
Hmm.
So let me ask you guys a question. Zidane versus Lampard.
I would say Zidane.
Is it close?
It's not as far as you want to make it
No, no,
look.
no. Is it on a scale of 1 to 10? Then, all right. On a scale of 1 to 10, Zidane is 10. Where is or not, let me not say 10 because no player is perfect. So let's give him 9. Where does Lampard fall on that
8.5.
scale?
8.5.
You're a liar.
Lampard was world class.
You're a
Let us
liar.
stop. Let
You
us
are
stop
a
pretending
liar.
like Lampard was not
You
world
are
class.
a liar.
Let us
Let's
stop
continue with it.
pretending.
Shakes.
You don't score 20 odd goals every season, and you don't make Ballon d'Or shortlist every
Right.
and being in the Player of the
You're
Year
right.
every season. And you're not world class. Let us stop that.
But we never said he wasn't world class.
Shakes is straight from the argument, though. The argument
Listen,
is Lampard versus Iniesta.
Lampard was a
Zidane
solid
is one of the greatest players ever. And if you can tell me that Zidane is 9 and Frank Lampard is 8.5, you are basically telling me that Frank
If
Lampard is in the top,
Zidane is
is in the top
Zidane is a
30 of all time.
if Zidane is 9, Frank Lampard is a solid 7.
Can't be higher than 7.
Solid 7.
And,
All right.
8.5.
You can't,
and
you
that
can't,
does
yeah,
not
remember
and
this,
that
this,
does not
this all
make
comes down to
him.
So we
opinion.
have
You
world
can't
class.
tell a
So
man
we
saying
have
that
world.
dog is
So hold
opinion.
on. We have world class players who are 7 now. Noted.
Yeah, hold on, Ryan.
No,
It
noted.
is,
You said world class players are 7. So
yes,
I remember that.
we have world class players relative to other world class players because you have different grades of world class.
I never know that. I never know that
Tell
he
it,
could
Never
get.
use
tell
that,
I
it,
never
never know
use
that
that
he
tell
could
same
it,
get.
argument killing a
tell
Hold
it,
shakes.
on, man.
tell
Just
it,
Shakes, I'm
basically
going to
what
use
you're
that same
saying.
argument
Hold
killing
tell
on.
him.
it, tell him,
Shakes, basically
Maradona.
what you're saying is that Zidane can is it a 90 is the
Yes,
same is a A and so is 70. That's
but
what you're
70
saying.
is the A minus in every GPA around the world. 70 is the
Oh,
A minus.
okay, so it's a A. All right.
It is. Levon and Josh go school, so they know what an A minus is. Because you can actually get 60 odd and get A minus. I think
No,
60.
Shakes,
I'm
Shakes,
just
I see what you're getting at, but there's a particular poster in the comment section. Keep on
Yeah.
yapping. Demo, you're a Spanish puppet, so I don't expect that your argument will be any different. So don't do that.
no, I'm just saying in in comparison to those players, like I know
No,
Lampard fault. It's really not Lampard's fault because
No.
Lampard play good, but them players are just great, brother. And like we hear Lampard
So to
is
his Lampard.
and
Lampard is great.
Lampard was great.
Yeah, but those players are even
those
greater. Listen, I was trying to say this. Pele, Maradona, 10 out of 10, right?
I don't know.
Fatman
I don't know.
Ronaldo. Fatman Ronaldo, 9. Zidane, 9. Andres Iniesta,
Shake,
9.
shake, shake, shake.
Messi,
Take
9.
Pele out of this argument.
Take Pele out
Take
there, man.
Pele out
All
of
right,
it.
look at it this way. Comparing Lampard to Iniesta is like comparing Lewandowski to Firmino. Even though they play the same position, them roles different.
No, disagree.
Yes,
so then,
yes.
so then basically so you think that
We wouldn't
Firmino
even
is close
compare
to
those two
Lewandowski?
players.
What?
So you think Firmino is close to Lewandowski?
We wouldn't even
No.
compare those two players.
No, I'm
Oh,
just
then
talking about role. I'm talking about roles in terms of
oh,
not because you play the same position, mean you have the same role.
All right, Shakes. Question to you, Shakes.
boy.
Paul Scholes or Frank Lampard, who would you say was the better player?
I think they were equally
No, not even close.
good.
No.
Why? Because because
And
even
put Gerrard into the mixer as well.
All
All
right,
of them,
let us answer this question one way.
LeBron, all of them
Paul
are
Scholes could not
in
let
one
England
Venn
start in
diagram.
11 when Gerrard and Lampard were in their prime.
They're in
And
one
Paul
little
Scholes
Venn
was also in
diagram.
his prime at that time.
There
And
isn't much difference between Paul Scholes, Steven Gerrard, and Frank Lampard.
All right,
I would
what
say,
Paul
I
Scholes
say though?
could
What I
not
say though is
make
that
England team when Gerrard and Lampard were in
well,
their
that
prime.
the
A
And
England
simple
coach
so
at the
question.
was
time was
A
an
Paul
simple
idiot.
Scholes.
The
question.
England coach
A
at the
simple
time was an
question to
idiot.
Ryan. A
The
simple
England
question to
coach at the
Ryan.
time was an idiot.
A man from Italy called Andrea Pirlo versus Frank Lampard. Who you taking, boss?
We're
Who
not
is
going to
the
go down
better
that
player?
road with you. Because
No, who is the better
we
player?
just calling random names right now for no reason.
no, no,
Random.
no. But back to
Andrea Pirlo is a random
Because
baller.
Lampard and
let's
Pirlo don't play the same role
All
or
right.
same position.
let's go back to the original argument though. As for me, personally, Chelsea fans, I know why you're arguing about Hazard because he was a Chelsea old boy and because he did whatever he did for Chelsea. But personally, for me, I give Salah it.
And that's fine. We don't
You
have a
know why?
problem with
And you know why I give Salah it? For me personally, Hazard productivity level should have been better for the talent that Hazard have. Is it the same thing we criticize Neymar about? Is the
Thank
same
you.
thing I'm going to criticize this one about? Hold on, guys, I'm here now.
I wouldn't.
But I'm saying the same thing that I criticize Neymar about when it comes down to productivity is the same thing I criticize Hazard about. It should have been way better, and for a player with you could have said less talent to achieve what he has done so far. Salah for me.
I just
Salah.
All
said his
right.
starting
So,
point is way below Hazard.
all right. So, quickly before you move on to the next topic, because we don't know we're straight big time, but quickly before you move on, out of those three, Lampard are the worst out of them three there for me. But out of Gerrard Sports, out of Gerrard Sports, Lampard, yep.
Yeah, and that's why I said to you, Kems, that you speak American football and basketball very well.
But you see,
But
even with those three players can't walk in the same shoe as Andrea Pirlo, Javi Hernandez,
All
Andres
right,
Iniesta,
all right,
Zinedine
Pastor
Zidane,
Shakes.
all them players.
All right, Pastor Shakes. But
We just can't. I don't know why. I don't know why on this show we stoop to that level of mentioning them players in the same breath as the other players. No, boss.
all right, you know what though? We reach a stage of the show where I'm going to give you guys all a minute to shake, so a minute to talk about whatever.
Oh, my minute is I hope I never ever hear another human being mentioning Frank Lampard's name with Andres Iniesta. Anytime they are going to do that, please mute my speaker, not my mic. Mute my speaker so that I don't hear. But anyway, a little bit about the cricket. West Indies, horrible, 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 horrible. West Indies, I know West Indies decided to give Manchester United their beer to hold, right? On Sunday, but my God, what was that? What was that? Where's Demo? Where's Demo? Demo, where are you? You're hiding.
You'll
Oh
be here
God.
Thursday, man. There will
I
be
know, I
a
know, man. I
cricket
know.
podcast on Thursday, so you'll be
I
here.
just troubling him because I see him in the comment section. But my God, man, that was atrocious. But I've always said it. West Indies need to evolve. The game has evolved, and there is no greater game than that Pakistan India game. If anybody wants to see where T20 is, for those who were probably watching the demolition job at Old Trafford, I suggest you guys go back on YouTube and watch that game because
Bar
I watched
Azam.
everything. If you want to see
Made
two men, no,
respond.
no, don't say Baba Azam. If you want to see a man bats, look on those shots that Virat Kohli played over extra cover, right? And through the onside throughout that match. And then watch our man counter what Virat did in Babar Azam. You can't find greater quality, and I don't even think that there is a greater quality throughout the World Cup unless these two teams actually meet again in the final. And I'm just being honest.
All right, Shakes, I'm going to whisper it softly, but hear what? Don't sleep on Afghanistan.
So I won't. I saw them today.
Okay. Ryan, your minute.
Well, West Indies and South Africa who lose go home. Basically, that is what it's going to come down to. Because I don't think you're going to lose two games and still advance. And if you do, it's going to really be tight. So I think who lose is basically on the next flight back because they'd have to win 3 consecutive games afterwards, and I don't see either of those teams winning their last 3 games. So tomorrow, a win is imperative for who wants to stay in the competition and advance. As for the whole conversation a while ago about this position thing, people need to understand that you can play the same position, but your roles are different, and you're asked to do different things, and you can be world class / top class by doing those different things. So it basically just comes down to who you prefer, and apparently some people prefer certain type of players over certain type, and that's fine. I don't have an issue with that, but don't try this an next player just to try and make your the one that you like look better. That's you don't have to.
All right, boss. Kims.
Um, right now I'm watching some NFL. The Saints and the Seahawks. Um, basketball going on. Lakers got their first win against Memphis. You know, I see some people jumping up about a 40-point L. I never see how people glorify losing. You know, I'm talking about my boy Carmelo Anthony scoring 28 points and just going on and just bossing and just bossing. So Lakers are getting there. You know, we're not there yet. You know, we have a brand new team, so we're gelling. So you know, we look forward to winning this championship.
Jail with one bag of old man.
Experience, sir.
But that's not to say, guys, it's a pleasure being here with you. And we currently have 21 viewers right now. So, guys, like the video if you haven't done so already. Hit that subscription button because we're currently at what 488 the last time I saw it. So, so it's at 489 as the producer just said. So I need 11 subscribers from you guys by tomorrow. And I mean, Kim's had a good podcast on Saturday with the NFL show, and you guys need to tune in. I mean, man like Ryan don't know A or B about the sport, so he doesn't tune in. But
Yeah,
Ryan needs to tune in to learn about the sport because these guys are
not
good at
not
it.
interested.
But there's a lot of sporting action going on, and I want you guys to tune into all the sports. Tomorrow there's
No, I gotta
football,
learn about lacquer.
cricket
Oh
is
God,
going
you
on.
wicked Ryan. NFL is excellent.
Cricket is going on. So I want you all to tune into all those things and let's just keep on growing together. Thanks again to our producer, thanks to Shakes, thanks to Ryan, thanks to Kims. It's always here. And guys, remember that on Thursdays, until the World Cup is finished, Dean will be here hosting a cricket podcast. The so-called guru, the self-proclaimed guru. But with that in mind, thanks to all of you. Thanks to all the commenters. Thanks to all the viewers. Until tomorrow, stay safe, peace out, enjoy the rest of your night.